That's good enough. Good enough. I posted on Facebook for suggestions for my entrance music, which I got a bunch of them, but I ended up picking, that's like my favorite song. So if it was later and I had been drinking, I would have danced a little bit more. But so when they asked me when Travis emailed me about speaking, he said, just share what you think would be most impactful. So I got a lot to cram into 15 minutes. I actually want to share a text message that my wife sent, which we raced back from a family vacation a day early so I could get here because I wanted to do this, to be here, and to be able to be up on stage. So I'm going to thank my wife, even though she's not here, because she's chasing around 4 young children. Well, I get to hang out with all you cool people. But anyway, she texted me earlier that my 5-year-old son, I'm going to try not to cry. Paul was crying a lot, but I'm going to try not to. But she texted me that my 5-year-old son, Cole, he said they were driving home from my 7-year-old's rugby practice, and she said, Cole just out of the blue said, Dear Jesus, let my daddy talk good. In your name we pray. That was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. So humor me for just 1 minute. I'm going to take a quick picture, okay, a selfie with all of you. So everybody, stand up and get crazy. And I just want to take a quick one, real quick, so I can send to my kiddos. Get crazy. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. All right, so I got a lot of stuff to share. The first thing I'm going to share is something I had heard a bunch, but the most recent time I remember seeing it was Kiala posting it on his Facebook page. And it's this. At the Miami event, we did, I can't remember what day it was, but we did an exercise about getting really clear about what you were going to do in the next 90 days. And I'm someone who, I've had some success now for a few years online. And I've been someone who I thought I couldn't do the visualization that people talk about, right? I thought maybe some of you are like that, where you don't feel like you can do that. You can actually close your eyes and picture something. Well, this is the first time that I could remember picturing crystal clear that I was going to be doing this in 90 days. Specifically, the picture that I couldn't get out of my head was me just yelling. I don't know if that's because I used to watch WWE or whatever. I don't know. But that was the picture that I had in my head, and what do you know? I'm here, right? And so what does that tell you? That tells you that, and this is what Kiala had posted, is that seeing doesn't create the belief. Believing makes you able to see it, right? So you need to believe in something first before you will see it in your life, right? And that doesn't really go with the rest of my talk, but I wanted to share that because I think, for some of you, that might resonate. So the name, or, we had to give a title for our talks, because I think they just made people do that so they, to show that they prepared, on some level when they get up here, right? So the title I gave was something like The 7 Levels of Achievement. And what I'm going to share with you, you've probably heard a lot of this before. But my hope is that at least one of you in here will, because I'm saying it a different way than maybe you've heard before, it'll make sense, and bang, your transformation will start today, okay? And I want to start, before I get into the 7 levels, by sharing a story that has nothing to do with building business, and at the same time has everything to do with building a business. And it starts with me growing up as a kid. In elementary school, I was overweight. I was fat. And I can remember very clearly, I can even tell you I can remember some of the kids that used to mock me in the bathroom, right? Because that was the one place where there wasn't supervision, right? So they could, the older kids could just, mock on the young kids, whether it be, the nerdy looking kids or the fat kids, right? And that was me. And I just remember it causing a lot of stress and uncomfortableness. I liked sports, but I didn't perform well because I was fat, right? And I can remember very specifically a time when I was 11, almost 12 years old, and we were clothes shopping. I can tell you where we were at. In fact, if I went back to the store, I'm pretty confident I could go to the spot that we were at with my mom, looking at the Husky clothing, right? The Husky section, right? Who knows the Husky section, right? Be honest, it's okay. And I remember telling my mom, this is the last time that I am ever going to shop in the Husky section. That's it. This is the last time. I remember telling her that. And I'd probably said stuff like that to her before. I don't remember. But my parents have been. I just owe my parents a great debt of gratitude because they've always been supportive of me, and I know that's not the case for everybody. Anyway, so I'm sure she believed in me, but she may not have believed that it was, true. But over the next 60 days, I lost 35 pounds as a 12-year-old kid, right? I had just turned 12. I was 11, almost turning 12. And that changed so much for me, my level of confidence, my ability to participate in sports and so forth, right? But one thing it didn't change was the way I felt about myself and my physical body, right? And so my weight continued, and my physical appearance, I continued to battle with that for years and years and years, right? It was always a struggle. And one of the reasons it was a struggle was because the way I was trying to maintain and lose weight and feel comfortable in my own skin was through conventional means of thinking and conventional means of application of what we're taught by, eat less, right? Eat healthy and work out a lot, right? Eat healthy and work out a lot. And so that's what I was trying to do to maintain and lose weight. Well, constant struggle for me, struggled in college with this. I would lose weight, as a young adult. I still consider myself a young adult, even though I have 4 kids and won't reveal my age. But continued to struggle with this for many years, to the point where I just got to a point where I was like when I was 11, turning 12, that's it. This is enough, okay? This is enough. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. I want to be able to, I went to the beach this last week, that's where we were at, and I wanted to feel confident and comfortable with my shirt off, right? That was one of the driving factors, right? So I had that thought, right? I had that thought, and then I read a book, which maybe I'll share at the end, maybe not. Maybe you'll have to hunt me down for me to tell you what book. But I read this book, and after reading that book, in the next 45 days, I lost, I think it was 29 pounds. It was pretty much all fat, and I dropped 6 pant size. Even these pants are 2. They're I got to hold them up. In a very short period of time, and that was 4 years ago. And here's the crazy part. I did it working out in a week what I used to try and do in a day, and I did it by really not eating any less food than I was eating before, right? I did it because I was using unconventional means, and I'll tie all this together in a minute here. So here's what I want you to do now. So that's the end of the weight loss story. Now I want to tie this into how this can help you achieve things, right? How many of you have something that you would like to achieve in the next 90 days? And you better all raise your hand, for God's sakes. Okay? Now what I'm going to share with you, you may want to apply this to getting to a certain income level. Holy smokes. I didn't have the countdown timer on, then they flashed it. I'm like, holy crap, I only got 6 minutes left. What I'm going to share with you here, you can use this to achieve something here, or maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with your spouse. Maybe you want to be a better dad. Maybe you want to be more spiritual. Whatever, it doesn't matter. This will apply to anything. I thought I was going to have a whiteboard, but I'm not. For those of you who've seen me online, like I love my whiteboard, right? I'm always there. I used to be a gym teacher and coach, so like the whiteboard's like my home. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get out a piece of paper. You all have one from Kiala's thing, right? So get out a piece of paper, and what I want you to do is I want you to draw 7 steps, okay? Like it's a staircase, okay? I want you to draw a staircase, right? And it doesn't matter how artistic it is, right? Just draw a staircase. And at the very bottom, the very first step, what do you think is that first step? Just shout out some words that might, what? Man, it's hard to hear up here. Good golly. Somebody close yell something that I can understand. Belief, what? Mindset, what? Goal, what? Desire. Okay, here, the word that I use most often was right up here, desire, right? Desire and decision. When I decided I wasn't going to shop for Husky clothing anymore. I decided I was sick of the yo-yo weight thing and being uncomfortable in my own skin, right? So decision, that is the first way. Now, there's lots of different words that you can use to describe that thing, right? You just need to do it. Oh, look at that. Well, now I'm running out of time. All right, cool. All right, so I'm an internet marketer, not an artist, okay? And my mom is going to be like shuddering because she is an artist. I don't even know if that's 7. But let's do this. So we got decision, okay, is step 1. Decision is step 1. Step 2, Tony has talked about this. I think Kiala has talked about this. You have to be crystal clear about what you want, right? Now, that does not mean that you have to know what the rest of your life is going to be like. You just have to get crystal clear on what you want to happen in the next 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it is, okay? So number 2 is getting crystal clear on what you want, right? I know you've heard it a lot, but it's the truth. It was crystal clear in my mind 90 days ago, or give or take, that I was going to be standing up here talking to you all, right? The third step is getting the right information. Okay? That, for me, I don't remember what it was when I was young, but I remember that the right information for me at the time that 4 years ago, was this book that I read. Okay? That was the right information for me. Holy smokes, I'm going to have to really hustle here. But here's the thing. This is difficult. This is not easy. But if you're crystal clear on what you want, this will become easier. And here's what I mean. There's different right information for you. Okay? Brian Couch, the right information for him was doing YouTube videos and SEOing them. Right? Kevin Souza. He's got a viral Facebook video formula, right? The right information for me may not be the right information for you. You've got to, and here's where I talk to people all the time who get overwhelmed. And the reason they're overwhelmed is because they have the shiny object or squirrel syndrome, right? Pick one, let's relate it to this business. Pick one marketing strategy and master it in the next 30 to 90 days. And do not get distracted by anything else that's like a marketing strategy, right? You got to keep working on your mindset. You got to keep doing other things. But that one thing, just master that. And don't let yourself be distracted, no matter what, right? So the right information for me might not be the right information for you. The fourth step, is you need to take a leap of faith. This is what happened when I read this book. Here's what didn't happen. I didn't sit around and think, is this information the right information for me? Does this, can I believe this guy? This doesn't seem real, blah, blah, blah. The next day, I read it before bed, and the next day, I started doing what the guy said. Did I have the whole plan? No, but the next day, I started doing it. The next day. For all of you, it's Monday, right? You're not going to have time to do much today and tomorrow, right? But that is, for whatever it is that you are crystal clear about making happen in the next 30, 60, or 90 days, that has got to start happening on Monday, okay? Holy moly. All right, the next one is you need a short-term action plan, okay? Short-term action plan. What are you going to do every day for the next 30, 60, or 90 days that will help you make that crystal clear thing happen, okay? And that comes from the right information, right? Okay, two things about that. One, there's a website called stick.com. Sorry, I'm going to 2 minutes, sorry. Stick.com with 2 Ks, stickk.com. It's a website that will help you create, it will help keep you accountable. It'll give you some external motivation, like Tony said, initially, right? Now, for me, I've got enough internal motivation, but it comes through creating some help from some external motivation and creating the second thing, which is long-term, or the next thing, which is long-term habits, okay? Give you 2 examples of that. Long-term habits. When doing these short-term action plans, okay, if you do it for 90 days, it's almost impossible for it not to become a long-term habit. And for me, the reason that I've kept the weight off and really been like the same within like 4 or 5 pounds for the last 4 years is I created long-term habits that I don't even have to think about anymore. Like it just happens naturally. Same thing with this business. If I don't send an email in a day, I get like the shakes. Right? I have to send an email before I go to bed. Literally. It freaks my wife like hates it. Like there are days where I'm up ready for bed and I'm like, shit, I didn't send an email. I'll see you. You know, and she's like, she just shakes her head, right? And the last thing, the last one, and you can all just write this down because I'm out of time, is to pass it on. Pass it on, right? Pass it on. Leadership. Pass it on. I'll write it up there because everybody was asking, but it's going to look terrible anyway. Is to pass it on, okay? Pass it on in your content, in your marketing, in whatever it is that you're doing. Helping others, right? Me sharing that story is a way for me to pass it on, okay? I'm going to get a bazillion people, so I'll just tell you the book. It's called The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss is an awesome dude. That was the book that, for me, that was the right information for me to lose weight and keep it off. By the way, that dude, I mean, if you want to, that dude is just awesome as a information for building your business, just hacking your life in a good way. So here's what I want you to do. Everybody stand up. Stand up. Oh, the book again? Sure. All right. What? Everybody quiet. Shh. The 4-Hour Body. The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. Now, if all of you, what I want you to do is if you are going to apply this 7 levels of achievement, I think that's what I call it. If you're going to do that in the next 90 days, I want you to go absolutely ballistic for the next 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, go crazy.